Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we're going to make a bracelet using products from the Bargain Bead Box September 2022 edition. First of all, our encouraging word for today is Proverbs 23:5, and it says, "Will you set your eyes on that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings, they fly away like an eagle toward heaven." So, good proverb. We don't need to set our sights on earthly riches because one day they're not going to matter. All right. So here we have it. I'm using pretty much the rest of the beads that I have left over, except for our bright and shining orange strand, which I do like on its own, but I don't necessarily like with these beads. So I'm going to set him aside. I'll use him in some bead weaving projects or something where I need a lot of bright orange later, but I don't really want bright orange with this. So here's what we're going to need. I have found some chunky chain. Now, I don't know where I got this. You can get chunky chain anywhere. Hobby Lobby has it. Michael's has it. This is the chain that came in the box this month, and I love this chain, but I needed some chunkier pieces. And I'm going to double it over. We're going to use this big owl pendant. I've got two 12mm jump rings here and an 25mm lobster claw clasp. I'm using these pretty shimmery beads and the rest of the hessonite garnets and the little 4mm round garnets. I'm using the rest of my English cut carnelian and some of these faceted carnelian. Now I still have some of these left, but not too well. I've got about a half a strand. I've got this guy, but I don't think I'm going to use him just because he doesn't really fit in there anywhere, and there's only the one left. I'm using these two owl charms, 4 of the leaf beads, and this owl dude here. This is a very owly necklace. I'm going to be using some eye pins, some bead stringing wire. This is 7-strand bronze color bead stringing wire by Beadalon. Possibly some wire guards, and definitely some crimp beads or crimp tubes. You're going to need either one. I don't know I'm going to use the wire guards or not, because I don't think, well, I might. Yeah, I probably will be. I'm going to pull them out just in case. So wire guards, and I don't think I have any bronze ones. I've got some copper here that will probably work. Can't really tell the difference, honestly, when there's something this small. These are 5mm wire guards, by the way. They're available for sale on my website. Do I have any more? Here's one. I don't know how many I'm going to need. I'm doing a multi-strand here. Multi-strand bracelet. I've got the idea in my head, but I haven't fleshed it out yet. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a design with me challenge today. Some people love it. Some people hate it. If you hate it, then you can exit the video now. So as not to frustrate yourself and leave a nasty comment. If you love it, you're in good shape, because that's what we're doing today. I do these a lot. I mean, that's the way I design. A lot of people, I don't know how other people design, really, but I design by laying it out in front of me and experimenting with it, and I can't help that. That's really the only way I know to do it, especially when you've only got one set of beads to work with. Now, if I had 3 bargain bead boxes, then I could lay it out, I could make it, and then if I didn't like it, you know, I would have another one to work with. Or I could lay it out and make it and then do the video with the next set. But I've only got one set, so I can't really just, you know, have it all made up and then make it up again, because I don't have enough beads to do that. So, there you have it. It's a design with me challenge. Okay, I pulled out some wire guards. That should be plenty. You're going to need some crimp beads or crimp tubes, probably. This is like the 5th video I filmed today, so I'm getting a little bit loopy. But I'm trying to get ahead because Chris and I are going to be going out of town this weekend, and I need to have this stuff done. Okay, the crimp beads, I think that's everything you're going to need. I mean, we'll see. You know, I'm going to do the best I can. So, okay, so I do know this. My owl is going right there. And on each end of the owl, and I'm going to go ahead and put this part together because it's going to help me when I string to know how many beads that I need. So on one end of this owl is going to go a big jump ring so that we can attach our other strands to it. And I think I'm going to put it right here. And the reason for that is it's not really centered. You know what? I better put it over there because my lobster's going to clasp over here. So that's going to have to go over there. I wish this owl had a hole right there. That would be perfect, but he does not. So we're just going to do this right here. Okay, so put one big jump ring there. Your other big jump ring needs to go right here. And this is for the lobster to clasp to. Okay, so this component in itself right here is kind of large. So we're going to clasp our lobster. So there you have a pretty big section of your bracelet already. So I want the chain to come around and hook on over here. So what I need to do now, this is how I'm going to measure and figure out how long to make it. I've got these pieces all hooked together, and I just need to measure and see how long I need my chain to be. So if I stretch this all out, I've got, my wrist is about 6.5 inches, so I want to go about 7 inches right here. So I'm just going to cut my chain probably on this link right here. These links don't open, I don't think, unfortunately. Okay. So here's what I've got. Now I need to loop this around, so it needs to attach here. I'm going to need a small jump ring for that. Where are my small jump rings? And we're going to loop around and attach to the bigger jump ring on the other end. So let me get a small. Here's a small. This will work perfectly. And we're going to, you know what? I don't have to do that. I don't have to have a jump ring for that. I can hook this. It will go directly on this jump ring. What am I thinking? Gosh, that doesn't look very long. It is 7 inches. Just about 7 inches. It doesn't look long enough. I wonder if, I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe I'll hook these two on with a jump ring on this end so that it gives it just a little bit more length, because it doesn't look long enough. And see, that's the thing with me. I have the hardest time judging my bracelets right. I always either get it too long or too short, every single time. And I've used those, I know everybody's like, oh, you need the board, the bracelet board. No, that confuses me even worse. I don't know why. I'm inept when it comes to measuring correct lengths on bracelets. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to hook these on with this jump ring just to give it a tad bit more real estate. Though I probably didn't need to do that. But now let me measure. So if I would... Yeah, that's right at 7 inches. I guess that's pretty close to where I need to be. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one right here. Get that out of the way. There we have it. And I'm going to hook the other two on with a jump ring too, just to be safe. I can always take it off if I don't, you know, if I feel later like that it's too long. I can always take this jump ring off, but for some reason that just seemed, it looked really short to me, even though it measured. And that's what I do. That's how I end up in a big mess with all my bracelets. But I'm doing it again. Okay, I'm going to hook it right here to this jump ring. And this is going to help us. So I'm going to hook this around, and then I'm just going to try it on. That will solve this mystery of whether it's going to be too big or not. Because we have a lot more to do to it, but it's going to all be the same length. So that's why I'm starting with this middle. Okay. Let's just put it on. It looks so tiny. Whoa, it really looks tiny. Well, it's not super tiny. Okay, it could use possibly one more jump ring in here maybe. So let's go ahead and put one more on here just to be safe. I don't want it to be too tight. And see, it was deceptive because, honestly, I'm just going to use this bigger one and this smaller one. Hook these two to this. So you got to get your length right. I mean, it's really, I find it very tricky. Very tricky to get my length right. And I know when you put the beads on, that takes up space too. I know that it's not gonna, you know, I know that that is going to make it even shorter, but I just never can measure right. It's just a thing. I don't have this trouble with necklaces, not so much. Okay, we're gonna hook this one right back onto here. And then he will clasp, lobster will clasp onto there. But that should give me plenty of room. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. There we go. So we got our full thing spread out here. Our lobster's gonna clasp onto the top. We're good. Alright, let me put this like this. This is how I want it to go. Okay, so now what we're going to need to do is we're going to take our bead stringing wire and we are going to make sure that this is closed up really good, because if it's not, your bead stringing wire is going to come right out of it. So make sure you got your ring closed up really good. And we are going to crimp right onto this ring right here. And I'm going to do, I don't know how many strands I really want to do. Where are my wire guards? We're going to start with one. So I'm cutting about 8 inches of bead stringing wire. I'm going to grab my crimp beads. And we're going to crimp. I'm going to start with one. We'll see where we go from there. Okay, so I'm going to put my crimp bead on. I'm going directly through this big loop right here, big jump ring, and coming around. Oh, you know what? I am going to use the wire guards on this. So yeah, put your crimp bead on, then put your wire guard on. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking there. Yeah, we do want the wire guards on here. Go up and over like this. Pull everything through. And then you want to take your wire guard and put it on this loop right here. This big loop. Okay. And then we're going to go back through this crimp. Okay. So see, you've got your wire guard on. You've got both your tail coming up, or your wire coming up and over and around, and it's on the crimp. So what we're going to do now is scoot it up here. Scoot the crimp up. You want to make sure that your wires aren't crossed if you can. So mine seem to be laying side by side. I'm going to take my crimping pliers. I'm laying this down in the very back divot. I'm going to try to separate my wires a little bit just so that and then I'm pushing down, and that's going to create 2 little channels with 1 wire in each channel. It's a little fiddly because you got so much stuff going on here. And I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and close it up. And there's our crimp. Nice and secure. And so let's decide what we want to string on this strand. I know I want to use these guys. These are so pretty. And I know I want this wire to hang on the very outside on this side because I'm going to hang charms from it. So these I think I want to use on the outside as well. So let's go ahead and use some of these with some of these interspersed. So let's take one guy here. You want to try to put them over that tail if you can, as much as possible. I mean, we can trim it if we need to. I just like to put it through some of the beads. Okay, so we'll do one of the faceted rounds, then one of our little 4mm. Now these guys are probably not going to go through 2 of this wire, so I am going to go ahead up here And I'm just going to trim it off right under that little 4mm round. My cutters are dull. There we go. And then I can string on this little guy here. Okay. And then we'll do another big one. And I'm not going to do a pattern really. I'm just kind of going to do this random. Another one of the big ones. Do another of these little guys. And I'm just going to string this with a random little pattern, not really paying attention to how I do it, just doing it. These beads are all so pretty. These little guys have so much sparkle in them. It'd be nice if I could get it on the stringing wire. Little tiny holes are hard to see. And I have my new glasses on too. I went to the eye doctor. I'd been threatening to forever. Finally did. Found out that I'm legally blind without my glasses. Isn't that crazy? I knew my eyes were bad. Okay. We want to stretch this out. Okay. And we want this to, it's got to end right there. So you got to be kind of careful with it. Let's do another one of these. This guy. This one. Okay, stretch it out. Couple more. Maybe one of these. This one. Where is the hole? There we go. And I think that's going to be good because now by the time I get my wire guard and crimp on, that's going to be right about perfect. Okay, so we're going to take another crimp. Get it right on here. Put our wire guard on. Up and over. Back through the crimp. And back through. I'm just going to go through that first little bead. Okay. Well, I didn't put it on the chain or on the thing, did I? See, I'm getting tired. I've filmed like so many videos today. Alright, let me pull this out and we will fix it. Everything's fixable. Thankfully. Okay, now we're going to put it on here. It's got to go on here. Otherwise, it's not going to work. There we go. Now you can kind of stretch this out and see if you think you needed another bead in there, which it looks like I might have. You can add another bead in. So that's a good time to do it. If you need another bead, and I do need one more bead, it's got to lay right. So let's put one of these guys on. Now we're going to put our crimp. And we're going to go back through our wire guard. It's already on here. I'm just going to go up and over and around, already on the thing. Nope, I'm not. It's going to come off. Okay. Alright, put it back on. You want to make sure you got this laying right. I want my chain to be on one end. I don't want it to crisscross over, so just make sure that nothing is twisted or crisscrossing. Doesn't matter which side the chain is on, I don't care. I just need it to be on one side or the other. Because I'm going to hang charms from it. Let's go back through this crimp bead and back through the little garnet bead or two. Okay. Come out down here somewhere. There we go. Alright, now that looks perfect. Okay, so just pull it tight. And we're going to crimp. Now you can't tell if your wires are crossed here. I know it's too hard to. And be careful, because I did crimp earlier and crack one of my tiny beads. If you saw that video, that was a bit frustrating. But there we go. Didn't do it this time, thankfully. Alright, let's cut that off. And here's what we've got. Now, I want to do this strand. This very sparkly, pretty strand. Up here. Okay? And I would kind of like to mix these guys in here. I don't have enough. Yeah, I do. That should be about perfect right there. Okay, so we're just going to get another piece of bead stringing wire. We're going to crimp up here, same as we did before. So the crimp, put on our wire guard. And again, I want to crimp over here on the other side of this strand because I want this strand to have the dangles on it. So I'm going to go back on this other side here, right here. Okay, put the wire guard on there, go back through the crimp with the tail, pull that crimp up, try to make sure your wires aren't crossed there. Can't tell if they are, I don't think they are, and crimp down. Okay, turn this 90 degrees. It's hard to do with all this stuff hanging on it. And close that crimp up. Alright, let's get everything laid back out like we want it. And we're going to bead this side. So I'm going to do this English cut. Do I want to do it? No, I need to do one of these first. These twist beads first. These are so pretty and sparkly and beautiful. So twist beads. Then we'll do our English cut bead. I'm just going to alternate them, I think. See if I'm going to have enough. Twist bead, English cut, twist bead, English cut, twist bead. No, it looks like I need one or two more English cuts. So what I'm going to do is add this guy in here. So that's going to give me a little bit of extra space. Right? Right. Okay, twist bead, English cut. And I could do that the whole way down through here. But I think English cut, twist bead, English cut, and then I would add this guy in, and then my twist bead. And I think that's going to be pretty close to exactly how I... So if I put these in, this garnet ones in the whole way, it's not going to work right. So we're just going to put them in at the beginning and the end there. Okay. And that's just because I've run out of English cut beads now. These are so pretty. I've really made a ton of stuff out of this box this month. I mean, some boxes I have trouble. I forgot to put the garnet bead in. Some boxes I have trouble getting, you know, a bunch of stuff out of them, but this one I have not had any trouble. It's been fun to play with this one. Whoops. Well, where's it at? There we go. Garnet bead, English cut bead, and then our twist bead. And it is really important with these kind of multi-strand bracelets that you get them measuring exact. So when I stretch this out, you know, I want this. It's got to be able to go up in here and reach. And if I need another bead in there, then I need to add another bead in there. Now, I do think I need to. I don't know which one I'm going to add. So let's go. Let's pull this off. And I know it's frustrating to have to pull things off, but you really do have to get the measurement right. If you don't, it's just not going to look good. So I'm going to add in that little hessonite bead. Okay, and then we've got our twist bead. I mean, I know it's a pain to pull things off, but you really, really do want this to, you don't want to make the whole thing and then have it look crappy. So it's important to get the measuring right. Twist bead. And so now I would do this little hessonite bead. And I know these are tiny little things. They don't add that much extra space, but they add just enough to get you that extra little length that you need, so that your bracelet's going to lay right. Okay, so we'll put him on, then him on, then him on, and then him. And I watch it be pretty perfect now. Yep, it sure is. So now when we put our wire guard and our crimp on, it's going to lay perfect. So let me get my crimp bead. And my wire guard. Okay, we're going to go up and over on our wire guard. Insert it on here. Make sure that you put it on top of this other one, that you're not crossing. Otherwise your strands are going to wrap around each other, which if you want them to, that's fine. That is a look you can do. But I'm going to try to keep mine laying like I want them to, separated. And we're going to go right back down through the crimp bead and back down through that. Okay, so now, yeah, I'm just making sure everything's laying right. When I pull tight, yep, we're good. Okay. That one, that one, and that one. Okay, I'm just making sure that they're not crisscrossed or anything. And then we're just going to crimp this one. I do need to make sure that it's pulled up tight. I don't want it flopping around. Okay. Okay. Turn it 90 degrees and close it up. There we go. Okay, so here's what I've got. Now I can decide here what I want to do. Do I want to add another strand up here? I could. I've got all these little cute guys. I could put a whole strand of them on, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to hang the charms first and just see how that looks. So I've got all these little charms here. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way. And this guy. So I'm going to put him in the middle. I do know that. So let me get a jump ring. And just hang him right in the middle. And I'm looking for kind of a thick one. Okay, so I want him to go right about here. Now I'm just going to hang the charms on the outer piece of chain. Okay, so this piece right here is the outer piece. I'm going for the middle. This looks pretty close to the middle. We're going to hang him right on there. Okay. Now, I have some eye pins here. And what I want to do with these little leaves and owls and stuff, the little leaves, I definitely want to do head pins on them. Let me find my ball head pins again. And I'll show you what I want to do with them. So grab out some ball head pins. Okay, so for the little leaves, I do want to take some of these little beads right here and add them on like this, and then the little leaf. And I kind of want to do little charms like that, but I don't know if I want it to be that big. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so I'm going to take the little leaves and I'm going to make little loops here, wrapped loops. And then we'll hook them on with a little jump ring. Okay, so up and over rotate your plier up and come underneath. And then you're going to grab your loop with your pliers and either take your finger, if your ball head pin is really thin, you can just wrap with your finger, or you can come around like this. I didn't leave enough room, but that'll be okay. Okay. I didn't make a very pretty wrap because I didn't leave enough room under the loop, but it'll be all right for this one. Okay, and then we're going to hook these on, but let me make a couple more. So we've got that guy. Let's do one with the orange. I'm going to do two of these little orange ones, one on the top and one on the bottom of the leaf, just to give it a little variety from the other one. And what you need to do is come up a little bit from your bead. That's what I didn't do last time. And then come up and over and around. That'll give you a little room to wrap, which is helpful. See? And now I can wrap and I have a little room to wrap. And there we go. Looks a lot better than the other one. Cut it off. Let's do two more leaves. I'm going to do the same exact thing. One with just the red on the bottom. Like that. And then the other one with the orange on the bottom and the top. Sometimes you can wrap with your fingers, but I didn't have enough, good enough grip on my loop there. Okay, there's one. And one more. See if we can do our orange ones on this one. Okay. And then we're just going to bend it again. Get my loop looking very good there, did I? Pull it around. Okay. And trim it. Okay, and now we've got these little guys, the little owls. Now these, it depends on which way you face them. You need to try to make sure that you face them the right way, because otherwise they will be backwards. Okay, and then these little owls. So I'm going to do it, I'm just going to stagger everything like this. And I'm going to hook everything on with jump rings. I've got some tiny little jump rings here. Little 3, 4 millimeter ones. That's what I'm going to hook these all on with. So I'm doing this little owl down here. Okay, going to do the other owl on the other end. And I'm putting the little owl, these two little owls on the very last link of the chain. You can do it however you want. This is just how I'm doing it. Okay, just like that. Then I'm going to skip a link. No, I'm probably not actually. Just going to do those next. Well, I am skipping a link there. I better not. Because these bigger ones are fat, these middle ones are fatter, so I want to make sure that I have enough room. Okay, there's that one. Make sure you get these little rings closed up well, because they are tiny and it's hard to tell if you're getting them closed up all the way. And that one appears to be a closed ring for some reason. Okay, we're going to do this guy next, over here. And the reason I'm doing one and then the other and not just going down the whole one end to end is I want to make sure they're evened out. So like these two guys right here, I'm going to skip and put there. And so then these two guys will need to fit right in here. And I just wanted to make sure that it's kind of even. They don't have to be exactly the same on the chain. Nobody's really going to notice if you're, you know, you got one extra link in somewhere, but you want it to be fairly evenly spaced. So that's why I'm kind of going back and forth like that. So this guy, then I'll go over here and do the other one. And I could always move my middle link or my middle charm if I needed to, but I'll always kind of start with that middle charm if I'm doing something like this. We're going to put this guy here. It just helps you to even it out a little bit better. Okay, so that's what we've got. And I'm going to put this one here right next to that guy. And this one here right next to those two owls. And that's going to finish it for the charm part. And then you can evaluate. If you wanted to add another strand, you could. You could make it as many strands as you want. As many strands as you've got a ring to hold them. I don't have that open far enough, apparently. Okay. And this last little guy. Is going to go right here. Okay, so there it is. Now, like I said, if I wanted to, I could, why is this not working out like I need it to? I don't really want that up there. And here's upside down. So what did I do? I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just... I don't know. I could flip that if I wanted to. Oh, it's got him upside down, so we got to go the other way. Okay, yeah. I don't know. We'll see when we put it on. I'm confusing myself. So yeah, if I come around like this with it, it's not going to matter. Yeah, he's either way. Okay, so let's put it on and see what it looks like. If I can get this on without Chris. He's in there on the phone working. I think I can. This is a pretty big lobster. I have a terrible time with them, but let's see if I can get it on without having to. There we go. Yeah, so there you have it. It's super cute. It really is. I love the beads this month. And if you wanted to do another strand up here, you could. I mean, it sure wouldn't hurt anything. You could wear it either way. You could wear the big owl up there and the little owls like this, or you could flip it. I tend to like my charms to hang down like this, but you could flip it and make them hang the other way if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. But yeah, I like this. I think it turned out really cute. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've made a lot of jewelry out of this month's box, so I have some earrings made that would match this. I mean, for tutorials, you can check them out. Lots of different stuff. And again, you know, you could flip this if you didn't want the owls facing a certain way or whatever. I don't know. It's just kind of jingle jangle. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And it really does help me out. And give this video a thumbs up on Facebook. or goodness, on YouTube. It helps with the algorithms a whole lot. It helps me out a whole lot. It helps to support my channel when you do that. I don't know if you guys realize, but when you give it a thumbs up, it shows Facebook that you like the video, and so it helps to support my channel. It helps to keep it going. So please do that. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. My algorithms tell me that half the people watching me haven't subscribed. And if you all would subscribe, it would make such a huge difference for me with my channel, again, to help keep it, you know, going and everything the way it should be. And it's so helpful to me if you all subscribe. So it doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free. All it does is you know, let you know when I upload videos. If you ring the bell, it does let you know when I upload the videos. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to get off here and probably do something else for a while because I filmed like 6 videos today. I'm getting worn out with it. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.